Hello and welcome back to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. We got our first mini game for the lute locked in. We'll see if I can play it, right? We'll see if you equip your lute. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, so that is our Tome 1, which is the only song that's available in the demo. Now there is, you know, there's a lot of little things we still need to get done, like the bass notes are looping regardless if the tome's equipped or not, so we need to make sure we can kind of only toggle that when the tome is equipped. So we've got that to worry about, and then also it plays after a successful you know, it's like we need to basically kick the player out of lute state by the time the song's over so that it doesn't keep looping or, you know, have some kind of trigger to stop that. And then we need to actually trigger the cinematic change. What the heck just happened there, man? You know, we need to finalize the engraving on the lute one so that it's looking right. Basically, we play the song here, and then it'll cleanse the water, and that'll be the end of the demo. So, let's worry about trying to get the lute bass notes only playing when the tome is equipped. So let's do that. I guess it would mean in our lute we have a bass notes that we get updating. So all bass notes are a bass note object, and it's just a set of notes, a timing offset, a current note, total note, so that it can take a timing offset and a timer and loop through the notes, and all it does is play the sound of the current note. So we just cycle through our notes that we give it. We're giving it strings that equate to our global sound table. Soundables, I don't know what you call them in Lua, but they're basically new audio sources that are playable via the play method. Okay, so basically we need a reset for these bass notes, because if we were to just, you know, we have an update function that we just update here. The issue is, you know, we can say, you know, if by the time we're updating our lute in our lute state, we check if a tome is equipped or not, right? And that is in, what is it? It is tome equipped. It's part of our inventory system, so it's part of our key item inventory. So we can say g key item inventory dot tome equipped, upload bass notes, which, what did I just do there? It's gonna be G key item inventory, and it's gonna be tome equipped. So we basically want to say, well, you know, if our tome is equipped is equal to the string of tome 1, then we want to play the tome 1's bass notes. And we do that by updating. But the issue comes, and I'll show you the issue. The issue is we're updating them here, which is fine in the sense that if we have our tome non-equipped, so let's just get the tome real quick. We will unequip it. Then we will equip our lute and try to play. We shouldn't hear the bass notes, which is correct. And then, if we equip the tome, we should hear the bass notes. Let's see. Yes. So now my question is, if we unequip it, we're no longer updating the bass notes, which should work for loading this. It shouldn't play the bass notes, but the problem occurs when we re-equip it. Then it'll just resume updating the bass notes at the random time. And I'm pretty sure that's the issue we need to fix. Oh. It doesn't. Okay. So we got the bass notes not going on the tome equip. That's good. We do need to stop playing the bass notes by the time the song ends, or kick us out of the song before the note past the last bass note would normally trigger. So I guess we can do a check in our lute state and say, as soon as the song is empty, as soon as the last song has exited, we can then just terminate the lute state, which is probably the easy way. But also, if tome's not equipped, song 1 is empty, so we can't quite exit if the song is empty. But if the song is empty and the tome is equipped, we would then exit. Otherwise, you have to manually exit from the free play mode. That sounds about right. So let's say this, and we can say in the update, we can say, well, if the number of things in song 1 smaller than or equal to 0, and we want to just flip our lute state. I think that's right. I believe lute state is the global. It might be a change. It might be a state machine change. Let me see. Because when the lute's updating, how do we change? If what select is pressed. It may not be in the lute. Yeah, it may not be here. Let's see, when we trigger our lute state, how we do it and where we do it. We do it here in the play state. Okay, and then lute state's true. So what? We do. Oh, see, that's why we do have a reset method on the bass notes, which is why it didn't mess up. Hey, Shrill Duck, what's up? Welcome in. I like the ducky emote. Okay, let's try this where we just say lute state gets false, because I believe. Yeah, let's try this. So but we also want to check if we only want to switch back from the lute state if we're in the song mode, which would mean that our tome equipped would have to be equal to tome 1 at the moment. Then we want to check the song. Let's see. what cool new program? I mean, A Sprite gets done what I need. I manually escaped it. Shit, we gotta redo it. Yo, what up, Cavictus? How's it going, dude? Dude. Eating. Okay, okay. Sounds good. Sounds good, man. This is not right. We're coming out of loot state too soon, so yeah, because the song 1 is actually empty before all the notes have gone off. So we actually only want to do this if by the time when we're updating our notes. Yo, it's good, Cavictus. It's just like there's so many little things we've got to fix, you know? So it's just like yesterday was kind of the fun part where we actually got to implement it, but now it's like all the little kind of stuff to make sure it plays nice, right? Okay, so when we're active notes, yes. Hey, CERN, what's up? I have a feeling if we do it in the active notes, it's too soon. I mean, where do we first populate our active notes? Do we do it right away? I don't think we do. I think we have a little time delay. Well, yeah, we do have a song timer. Okay. Yo, thanks, CERN. Thanks. Yeah, it's from a synthesizer pack from Equator 2. It's called the Antiquity Heart Lute. If you have a Roly Equator MIDI controller, you can get that sound. And then we import it, I recorded it, imported it into the game so that we can play a whole scale in the lute. But I'm a little at a loss here how we're gonna force terminate the song. We could just set a counter and then just terminate it at the end of the counter. That'd probably be the easiest fix, instead of trying to do whatever we're doing. And then also add, to the reset. We could add it to the bass notes. We could add it to the bass notes. Thanks, CERN. Yeah. There is like the idea is you can just follow along. It's like Guitar Hero. I think it's fun. Hopefully other people think it's fun too. It is very hard, but also I think it's okay for it to be hard, I think, because it just means it'll be rewarding by the time they can finish it, by the time you can learn it. Okay. So I think yo, Matt Birds, what's up, dude? I always call you the the plural, Matt Birds. We just got our first our loot mini game in the game yesterday, so I'm trying to tidy up some of the little stuff. Like we need to basically terminate the lute minigame by the time all the notes have scrolled by. Matt's bird, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad. Well, now that you've said it, I'll probably get it in my subconscious, so maybe it'll eke out. But yeah, so we got the lute minigame in there now. We need to get. No, part of me wants to say we could tally up. One way we could do it is we can count. I think it's what, 23 notes total? No. Okay. We could, it's 28 notes, so what we could do is say if the sum of incorrect notes and correct notes are greater than 28, then we count for 2 seconds and then we terminate lute state. So it doesn't terminate as soon as the last note's off, but takes a second or two. So we could do that. You know, that's a decent. I mean, it doesn't scale to other lute songs, but we're just, you know, we're trying to finish the demo by the end of this month, so I'm not too worried about scaling it out like that. I'm just trying to get it done, which is like probably a bad mindset, but if I try to do everything right, we're never gonna get it done. Oh, nice. Mina the Hollower. I'll have to check this out. I know, I was hoping to not work more than 2 years on this game, and it's already been over a year, so I'm trying to speed up development process. Ooh, I like this. Yes. Wow, this looks cool. Yes, yes, yes. Mina the Hollower. This looks cool. Yes. I love all this pixel art. That's some great art. Lo, look at that. Yo! This is really cool, man. Yo, this is sweet, man. Is there a demo out for it? Is there a demo? It looks sick. There's a Kickstarter. Oh, wow. Yeah, the art looks so good. Yeah, man. Looks so good. Love the colors. Cool. Yeah, I want to see Yacht Club Games. Is this the same people that did the Hollow Knight? Why is the Hollow Knight down here? Is Hollow Knight really the same? Is this the same company that did Hollow Knight? Oh, Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight. Yes, that's what I meant. I knew I was saying the wrong thing, but I meant this guy. Yeah. This is cool. This is really cool. I like this. I wish there was a demo, you know. I'd play the demo right now if if I could. When did they reveal the I know. I got it in your head. Okay, yeah, when did this announcement trailer come out? 3 years? Dude. Yes, I know, Kavictus, because the what I'm kind of deciding is like this experiment of me making this game is the goal of it is to go through the whole process, right? It has to be done on Steam where people can play it. It doesn't have to be 8 hours long. It doesn't have to be a fantastic game. It just has to be a real game that people can do so I can walk through the whole process of doing it. Yeah, Matt Bird. So that's what I really don't want to happen. because I think the best thing for the game development course I want to take is to make different projects every couple years as it grows in complexity, right? So if this is my first real game, if I take 5 years to make my first real game, I don't know, I feel like it would kind of hinder my growth in other aspects. But you know, Eric Baroni with why can't I think of the name? You know who I'm talking about. Eric Baroni did 5 years or 6 years working on his game. I love the game. I can't even think of the name. But he's got a new one coming out. Shoot. But yeah, the goal is, I need to get the demo out this month, and then I'm hoping we won't spend a total of 3 years on this game. I mean, it'll probably be that much, but it's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's so much work. So I want to switch engines eventually. So I don't want to be stuck in the same engine and language forever, but it's a great learning experience. Why can't I think of the name? The farming game. The freaking everyone loves it. Stardew Valley. Yeah. Love Stardew Valley. So it's like, in one sense, Eric Baroni took 6 years to make that game. So maybe it's not so bad to work on the same thing. It's just that I don't think this Tashio doesn't have the same legs as Stardew Valley, so it's a more linear, very simple game compared to Stardew Valley. So I think once I have the idea for the game, and once I feel confident I can do the game, then I go all in and do 5-6 years on it or whatever. But I'm still building my skills. This is my first game, so we have to start smaller. This is my first, I've made little arcade games and stuff, but nothing with dialogue systems or levels and stuff. I don't know. I made Joust, but that's it. Just arcade level games. So let's do this. Oh crap! Was it 28? Was it 28 notes? 28 notes? Was it? Shoot. Can't remember if it was 28 notes or not. Let's go to the lute state. We'll say, we have this correct count, incorrect count. So we basically want to, whenever we do this incorrect count, let's do 28. Thanks, Kavictus. Thanks. Okay, so what we'll do is in the update for the lute, we'll sum up our total notes basically. So we'll say if in the update, or as we do the incrementation right here, we do this incrementation, then in the update, I guess we will say, we'll say if the correct count plus the incorrect count is equal to, greater than or equal to 28, then we want to start incrementing a song done timer, whatever we call it. And then if our song finish timer is greater than 1 second, let's just say 1 second, then we're going to go from a lute state false, which will turn off our lute update. So yeah. So let's try this where we have to initialize a song finish timer as well as a reset for it so that we can consistently change it again. So when do we have a reset? Oh, we have a reset. So we have this song timer. We need a song finish timer to be reset to 0. It'll be a 1 second timer, and then we need to just declare it as a local variable up here. Local song finish timers 0. Okay, so we should 28, 28. Let's go to our lute. Let's just add this print on screen, just so we can see song finished timer. And let's see. So we're looking for it to automatically close the lute system after the song has played. So I might as well just play along and try to play the song. There we go. Song timer. Great. Work. Perfect. Does it reset? Yeah. It does reset. Great. Okay, so that works. And then let's just make sure the non-tome equipped free play state works. So we will unequip our tome and then try it. Yeah. We shouldn't have any correct notes, so the finish timer never has a chance. So that is most of what we need to tidy up the lute state. Now, I guess, like, there's little stuff like, are we happy with how this looks? Because right now we're just kind of like putting a little filter, making it dark, right? Like a vignette, so you could still see the character behind. I like that you can kind of see the character behind, and it also pauses entity updates or NPCs from walking around, or even animatables, I'm pretty sure. But we have to decide, like, you know, what is the way we show what you get correct and incorrect? And because the correct and incorrect here is like, maybe we can do like a 3 strikes or something, or I think it's fair to allow like 5 missed notes for the first song. So maybe we can have just a certain symbol that signifies how many you've gotten wrong. And anytime you get a red note wrong, it won't tell you how many you've got incorrect total. It'll become red. I don't know. There's, you know, we get to decide how we want to do this. So maybe we can do, I was thinking of like having the tome kind of crack in half when you miss 5, but like, I don't want people thinking they broke it or anything. So there's something we should figure out, some sort of feedback to give the player that they can miss up to 5 notes. And I don't know what that is. Because if they hit, let's say they get 4 wrong, so it goes like red, 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 and then 1 non-red. At the end of the song, it'll do the cleansing of the water, but it looks like they did it wrong because it was red. So I don't know of a way we can do this. Maybe what we can do, maybe we have like maybe we can have a little slot. It's like a 5-panel slot, much like in the inventory system right here. So like we maybe we have like a 5 slot like this, and every time you get one wrong, an X will appear in there. And then if you get all 5 wrong, then they'll all go red. But if you only get 4 wrong, it'll just be a white X or whatever. X, X, X. I guess it's a little weird. Because I'm trying to think if you can do it right, but then would they turn green? I don't know. It's just it's weird to communicate that sort of stuff non-verbally. It's just a little weird. We don't have heart containers in the game either, so our heart container overlay doesn't make a lot of sense here. blurry. Am I blurry? There we go. Okay. Yeah, I mean, part of me is just thinking we do like little X's. So if we mock it up, we can kind of see what it might look like, and then yeah, I think we have to mock it up. I mean, I think we need some kind of feedback to the player, and then we're not going to keep the debug text, so we have to do something. So let's do a little mock-up real quick, and we'll just pull it from the I like the one we've already got for the inventory sheet, so let's just start there, and we will open up our, it's called a pause state or mock-up. What is it? Mock-up. Inventory mock-up. Pause mock-up. Okay, so yeah, something like this, right? So we can have this. And let's just, yeah, we will do this. We will increase it. Okay, so yeah, if we wanted these to be the little missing notes allowed thing here. Right? So something like this. Let's do... We'll get the canvas size just right for this. $61 by 11. Who would have guessed? Okay. So for the missing notes, instead of doing, I don't want to color it red, because if you're allowed a couple wrong. So I think I just want a white X, just like our notes have a white background. Come on, man, a white background. We should have a white background and then an X. I don't know, I don't really like that design of an X. I don't know, man. I don't like that. That's not bad. Yeah, maybe we go with this. Okay, let's go with this. Okay, so this will be our X. So the idea is, you miss a note, it'll get an X, and then it'll get an X in every one of these boxes. So if it gets all 5 boxes, we'll render it red. and then if you get only up to 4, you're allowed 4 wrong, it'll be white. And then by the time you get the song, if you're done and you have enough, it'll turn green, signifying that like you beat the level, or you know, you won the song or whatever. So maybe we would trigger if they miss, you know, if they miss none, I guess they would kind of know. I don't know. Let's keep going forward though. Let's export this. Let's say that this is a is this even the right folder? I don't think this is the right folder. Okay, so we will save this as a PNG, and this is missing notes background PNG. And then we need to save just the X. Okay. Okay, I already forgot what we named him, so let's just pull him up. Okay, wrong note X, missing notes background. Okay, so let's go ahead and import them. We only need them in the lute state, but well, let's see. We don't really have a declaration here, so let's just import them globally. Okay, so this is going to be wrong note X, and we need a missing notes background. Okay, we have a wrong note X and a missing notes background, so let's go pull those into our lute state so we can get them placed, and then we'll worry about actually triggering them to render in the right scenarios. So let's say our lute state is gonna by default draw our missing notes background. And we're going to draw it at, how would we do this? We would take the virtual width divided by 2. That gives us the center of our screen, but we need to shift it left by half of this width. So this would be a width of 61. So shifting it by 30 or 31. Since that gives us just the right side of the middle, I'll shift it by a minus 32 to get us directly our center, like directly in the center. So let's say the X position is a minus 32, and the Y is going to be a virtual height divided by 3, so just like the bottom third of the screen. But we also need to just make sure we're setting the color to white. Okay, let's see if we can see our missing notes in our lute state now, to take out the debugging. Okay, so that's good. We need it a little shifted down, right? We did the top third, not the bottom third. So let's take out our, well, I guess we can just shift the debug line here where we do our incorrect count. Yeah, we could say that this is just I didn't even shift it down. Let's shift it down. Instead of divide by 3, we want to say virtual height subtracted by that third of a height. Guess we could say, okay, so that's looking better. Yeah, we don't have the let's see, we want these to be higher up. Let's say that this is minus 20, 30, and 40. Okay, we don't want it that far. Let's just say divide by 2 maybe. That looks good. Okay, we want to shift up our debug just a bit. Just so we can see. Okay, so now the goal is we need to get the missing note X to register in the right spot. So what we can do, if we're happy with where this is, we can bake these in right into a variable. So we can say, well, now we're going to have in our constants, I guess it could be a local since it only refers to here. So we can say it's going to be a constant. This is going to be the missing notes BG X. And then the Y is just half the screen, but height. And then missing notes BG, X, and Y. So missing notes BG, X, and Y. So let's put that right here. Okay, so we should have it there. That looks good. I do want to shift it up just a bit. We can shift it up just a bit. That's what's cool about baking it in like this. We can say, well, our Y, just want it to be shifted up maybe 8 pixels, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so now, yeah, let's try to get our missing note X actually rendered in the right spot. So we'll say missing note X. Yeah, missing, no, it's missed. What is that? What's going on? Wrong note X, that's what it is. Wrong note X. We'll start it out at missing note background X +1, and then a Y of +1 as well. Okay, that should give us a wrong note right on that first one. but we need to scale it for every other subsequent wrong note. There we go. Perfect. So there's a one wrong note. Okay, so yeah, I think we want to be able to scale this, so we need to multiply it. You know, we can say if that's where the first one goes, then every subsequent one needs to be modified by the missing note offset, whatever we call it. So this x, when missing note is 1, needs to shift us by 0. But when it's 2, it needs to shift us by however many pixels to the right this is. So if we look at where this x is, 1 would be here. 2 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 13 pixels. So if we say missing note offset is 13, okay, so like if we said yeah, this is offset, x offset at 13, so we're modifying it by the offset. So this would be the second missing note, but you know, we need all of them to render. So that is the right spot. I just want to make sure that we're calculating the right spot, right? Because this would be, you know, if it's 1, you plus nothing. If it's 2, you plus 1. If it's 3, you plus times 2. So we'd have to multiply this by the offset. So this should give us the third missing note. Yes, and let's just make sure. I mean, it's pretty guaranteed to be right because we made sure to put the same notes. Yeah, okay. So, and then I'm just going to check the last one. Okay. So ideally, cool. Ideally, what we can do is say that this number here, yeah, we'd have to have a table to store. Well, yeah, we can have a variable that counts how many missing notes we have and then loop through that table, and for every one you just increment this offset number. So we have to store another variable to hold the offset just because, well, yeah, I guess if we change the arithmetic to add, to basically convert one, gosh, what is it? One needs to be modified by 0. Okay, so we need to say, yeah, we need to say that this is like, you know, missed note count. Right, so if missed note count is 1, we need to subtract 1. So if it is, how would we do this? We're gonna say, yeah, missed note count. So if note count, let's walk it through. If we're only gonna render a wrong note if there is a wrong note or more, right? So if there's, we don't really care if there's 0. We're not gonna be calculating this if there's 0. So let's walk it through for one missed note. Missed note count of 1 gets 1 minus 1, which is 0. 0 times the offset is 0. Plusing a 0 gives us just the default x position. That's right. If we miss 2 notes, 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 times the offset gives us the 13 offset, adding to the x. Good. I think that's right. So we need a missed note count. We start off with no missing notes. We need to flush this on a reset also. So we need to say missing note count also gets flushed on a reset. but then we also need to we need to have this render part of looping through our missed note count. So we only want to do something if we have any missed notes. So if note count is greater than 0, then we want to loop through and actually render each of the missing notes at the proper X offset. So we'll say we have missed notes, so let's cycle through our missed notes. Now we could actually do a we could say for I gets 1 comma number missed note count, but no, this is just a variable. This isn't a table, so I don't think we can do that. Yeah, we would just say for I gets 1 for missed note count, because it's a number, do, and we want to say I right here is going to be this the offset. So 1, let's see, if we miss, let's say, we miss 1, so this loop will go through 1 time. When I is equal to 1, we need I to be the missed note count variable here, so we'll say I minus 1 right there. So if we miss 2 notes, the first one has no offset, second one will have, it'll be 2 minus 1, which is 1, times the offset, which is 13, added to the X offset. So that looks right. So let's see, we need to increment this missed note count anytime we have an incorrect note. So let's do that, where we say incorrect note whenever we do our incorrect count. Now we could use our incorrect count variable to do this also. I don't know if I liked that though, because I don't know, we totally could. Yeah, maybe we just do that. Incorrect count, maybe we just do that. So if incorrect count, let's try this. Oops. Okay, so we're cycling through all the ones we've got wrong. For every one we've got wrong, go insert a wrong note X at the right offset, multiply by I there. So let's see if we can count how many wrong notes we get. I'm not going to play anything and just see if every time we miss a note, it appears in the wrong position there. Nice, nice. Now, we have no stopping point, so we get many wrong, but we can do this. We only want to do this if incorrect count is greater than 0 and incorrect count is smaller than or equal to 5. So we can't have more than 5 missed notes. So let's see, we should be able to render wrong notes here. Okay. Why did we stop? Oh, we don't render any. Oh, we still want to render them wrong because we don't want any confusion. Okay. Yeah, we still want to render them. We just don't want to add any more. So if we basically, we just don't want to keep doing this offset. We want to limit this loop to 5. So like what we can do is we can do a limit here. We can say math dot minimum. No, we want the we want the smaller of 2 numbers, either the incorrect count or 5. So we still, well, and then, oh, this is, If incorrect. Okay, well, I think we can get rid of this, and we can just have this limit. I think that'll still work. Because if... Yeah, this will return 0, which would return nothing going in there. So this should work. I would think this would work. We should still see 5 rendering after we've missed 6. Nice. Yes, yes, yes. So the other thing is we want to change this color, right? We want to change this color. If incorrect count is greater than or equal to 5, then we want to be red. Otherwise, we render neutral white. So it should be white, white, white until you get all 5 wrong. Then it renders red. It didn't work. Okay, maybe we don't do this outside or in the loop. We just do this right before we do it. We say, okay, incorrect count greater than 5, red, render red. Let's try that. Nice, nice, yes. Okay, cool. I think it's okay. That works. That works. Let's make sure it resets. Let's make sure it resets. It should reset. Nice. Yep, and then it resets. Okay. Yo, thanks, Fartknocker. Yeah. It's looking good. It's coming together. We do need to add... We need to add if you basically get to the end of the song and you haven't missed 5, then we need to render them green or something like that. So we can say also and else, right? So we can say, well, if our incorrect count is greater than that, we can say else if our correct count, at least for song 1, it's 28 total notes. So if our correct count is greater than or equal to, so we can feel like we'd want to do this because basically, you know, if you can miss 5, then by the time, if you've missed no notes by the time you only have 5 notes left, you've passed the song, right? So should it render green at that point in time? Or I think it should render green if by the time the last note is played, if your success condition is true, right? So maybe we can say we can do, and then Fartknocker, you can on GitHub the code is there, so you can run the code. You just have to download the Love2d game engine, and you can run the code from source if you want like a custom screensaver or something at a specific scene. But also this this coming 2 weeks, I'm going to be adding some new overworld sprites to design the levels a little bit more intentionally. Because right now it's just kind of placeholder stuff because we were working on actual features, but now we get to actually design what the game's going to look like. So it should be prettier here in a couple weeks if you want to hold out for that. But how would we do this? You know, we want it to be, basically we have this thing where we're doing our finished note timer, right? So we can set this to render. We can say, let's go ahead and keep that as is, but we want to do a separate check for if our song finish timer is greater than 0, that means we have actually finished our song. So if we've finished our song, then we're going to overwrite any previous color with green, so that we can see that we passed. And then after 1 second, it'll close out the lute state for us. Yo, what up, Rotten Code? I think I saw you earlier in my code base. So yeah, if our finished song timer is greater than 0, we're going to set that color to green because we passed. But not just because if the song's done, we have to say, and if our incorrect count is smaller than 5. So if we've missed less than 5 notes, then we want to overwrite that color with green. And then we still draw however many incorrect notes we have. So let's test it out here. I need to miss some notes here. It should be green. Nice. It turns green and then it triggers off. So, sweet. Yo, Puny, welcome in, man. Good to see you. Thanks, dude. It's coming together. We finally got the mini game in there, right? So now we finally can live up to our background picture here with Tashio back here. Look how cool that is. Salto Manga did the art for us, and this is going to be the official game art on the Steam page. So by the time we're done with the demo this month, I'm hoping to get the demo up on Steam. So that's the goal by the end of this month. But I love seeing the little lute and Tashio here. Like, this is perfect. Like, I love seeing this because it's like, you know, Salto did this killer job on the art, and this is what a lot of people's first experience of the game is going to be on the Steam page. So once they see this, and then they play the low, you know, Game Boy resolution Tashio, then they get to kind of like carry over all the good art into their imagination for the Game Boy art. You know, it reminds me of like, not that Doom had bad graphics, but like games of that era had, you know, just like badass cover art, right? And then you play the game and it's like little E.T. on Atari or whatever, and it's like you get to kind of, if you splurge on like the game art, that's kind of like what gets people in, right? They're like, oh crap, I want to try that game. So it's going to be cool for the Steam page to have this good art. But yeah, we have the song 1. You know, we still need the green tunic rendering on the show off, which is still wrong. So we still have to fix that. But it is nice that we've got. We first got our first song in here. So the idea is you play, you know, you get the tome, you solve the riddle. That kind of hints that you need to play the song over here at Mage's Castle. Because when you're at Mage's Castle, you know, I want to put like a little like emblem on the floor or something to kind of like draw people's attention to over here. So maybe there's like little like music panels on the floor here to kind of signify You know, maybe there's like a matching music panel like our tome here on the floor that kind of says like, oh, you should try playing the music here, because you play the music here and it cleanses the water to be blue instead of purple, and that is the end of the demo. So once you do that, now all the water in the game is now uncorrupted, which will unlock the level up to the forest biome. So that's the goal for the demo. So we have the one dungeon, we have the refinery, we've got another biome. You know, we got full upgrades for the refinery, we've got some elements, we've got bats, we've got geckos, we've got what else? Yeah, there's only 2 bad guys, right? There's only geckos and bats. We don't have a place for geckos just yet other than Gecko Road, which we just have not spawned them in. And then we have this sandstorm particle system for here at least. We're in good shape. We're in good shape. It's good that the song is kind of working now with the wrong notes. So I really like that. And it seems to reset fine too. So I think we're set with that. So I think for tomorrow, I'm gonna really crack down on the show off for the green tunic in the treasure chest. And then another thing we got to do is add. Right now we don't even have where you get the green tunic, so we need to actually add it to the dungeon here, because this is where you get it. It's gonna be a treasure chest right here. So we're going to add the green tunic to the treasure chest so that people can actually open up and get the treasure chest, get the green tunic, which allows us to push the boulders and get through the dungeon here. At least the falling animation has the right tunic stuff. You know, there's like, I kind of want something, you know, it's like you can have the tunic or you can have the lute equipped here, but if you accidentally start playing lute, you can get shot as you're playing lute music. You know, so I don't know if I guess we should. I thought we paused enemy entities. It is evil. I thought we paused. I guess the thing is, I didn't want players to kind of cheat and, like, if they were afraid of the bad guys, to just pull open their loot so that they can like effectively pause the game without, you know, like while being able to see it, because like you pause the game with your inventory, so I guess that's the same deal. So I guess I don't really care, but it doesn't, I guess it temporally it doesn't make sense that you can play notes and not get attacked even though there's a bat right in front of your face. But maybe they like music, I don't know. Yeah, we also need to fix a bunch of the game over stuff, because I think it comes down to, on the web deployment, we couldn't load the game, so we turned off the loading game. Oh, we need green tunic for the death animation too. We don't have that yet, so I need to add that to our project here. We've got and if anyone's got a GitHub account, I'd appreciate if anyone wants to star the repo, because if we get 2 more stars on the GitHub repo, we get an achievement on GitHub for being, you know, a highly starred repo or something like that. So, yo, Brightside, what's up, dude? Yeah, dude. Did you see the loot mini game that we got working? We have a bunch of little stuff like oh my god. Yeah, we need to come through. We need to update all this stuff. So we need green tunic for death animation. We need I think you need 16 stars and we're at 14. Yeah, I think you need only 16 stars for the achievement. Why did this not work? Green tunic for death animation. Let's add it. It's not an issue, man, is it? It's just a draft. Okay. Green tunic for death animation. We need... What was the other thing I said we'd do? Oh, add green tunic to dungeon. A lot of these, I feel like, you know, because look, if we continue from a game over, we don't heal. Well, we shouldn't be able to trigger loot state from a game over, so we need that too. And then we need to like respawn correctly, and I think moving forward, I don't think for the demo I'll do this. I know I won't do it for the demo, but the I think I want to have the ability to add new games, right? Like if you want to start a new game, you should be able to make a new save file and not overwrite your original save file, just because all my favorite games from Game Boy era allowed you to do that. Because if you want to see something like the opening cinematic again, you shouldn't have to overwrite your only save file, right, by doing a new game. So I think I'll add that, not for the demo, but for the game. But yeah, let's look through here. We need, you know, we've got the refinery, so that's good. We do need the outside of the refinery. We need to add the outside of the refinery. I've got the overworld music for the dungeon, or the top world stuff, and the title screen. And then this is part of the next 2 weeks where we're going to be adding new sprites, tidying up that, making it look more pretty. We do need this still, yeah. We did kind of do this already. Our tunic, I'm not super happy with our tunic, but yeah. Yeah, we still need to limit our inventory because we don't have berries or baggies. We have little baggies in the game, but they don't do anything just yet. It's more of a second half of the game type mechanic, so we have to kind of like manually put, when you get the tunic, when you get the loot at the beginning of the game, slot it up in, you know, the first inventory slot at the top left. So it's not just like randomly in the middle. But yeah, we don't have much left. You know, I want to add 2 NPCs. You know, I want to add like one. I want to add a villager and a gossip NPC, and the gossip NPC will be chilling in the refinery, and he's gonna be basically. No way! Did we hit it? Or you gave it? Are you on? I've got to follow you. Yo, thanks, dude. Thanks, dude. Yeah, I think it's 16. Yo, Cavictus. Thank you, dude. Yeah, I think we need 16, so we're almost there. I appreciate that, dude. Yeah, I forget what it's called. It's called what? Starstruck. $16. Yeah, we need 16. So yeah, we're 1 away. Okay. So the gossip NPC is going to be like this guy that's chilling in the refinery, and he's going to be the guy that you can talk to if you don't know what to do in the game, and he'll just give you like random tooltips, right? He'll be like, oh, if you want stronger elements, talk to Ren, or he'll tell you a bit about the world, because I think I want 2 NPCs, and I think I want 2 villagers and 1 gossip NPC. So we have to add 3 new characters to the game. I'm not too worried about it. We'll keep it simple, but you know, keep it real simple with the AI and the dialogue system. But maybe gossip NPC can have a random dialogue each time, and it's just like random tooltips. And then 2 villagers, because we have to start introducing the lore of the game into the game itself, instead of just like me knowing about it. So basically when you first start the game, all the water's corrupted, right? And then you explore a little bit in the town, and everyone is gonna be cold to you. Everyone's gonna kind of hint that, hey, the water here is now corrupted because of you magic folk, and basically like not want to talk to you. Ren will talk to you because she's friends with Mage and stuff, but you're not so welcome at the beginning of the game. So we need to start adding. We need NPCs to kind of start adding that in. So, yeah, I think two villager NPCs on the road up to the forest biome entrance, and then one gossip NPC in Ren's refinery, and then other than that, we just need some, we need to actually trigger the water cleansing. If there's a successful song and you are in the right scene, then we need to add like a little emblem on the floor to kind of, finalize the riddle inscribed on the tome so that people can come figure it out. That you have to not only play the correct song and beat the game or beat the song with less than 5 notes wrong, but you have to play it in the right scene in order to activate the ending demo cutscene. So there's not really a cutscene, it's just going to fade, and then it'll probably make, it'll probably say something like you've completed the demo, feel free to keep exploring the game, or something like that, like some little like text confirmation that's like, hey, that's all that there is in the demo, because we're kind of blocking off people from exploring the sand biome and the forest biome, and I don't want people thinking that those are unlockable in the demo. So I'd like to add that text dialogue to kind of just prove to people that, hey, that's all we've got. Saying something like that. So it's like people can still play. They can still go upgrade their elements and max out their flamma. They can still practice playing the lute. They can still go explore and find some stuff. And then we need to finalize the inventory system so that, yeah, it's not too bad. I think we can do this. This month. I'm hoping I can take. I've got 3 days off work next week, so I'm gonna try to pump out some of these NPCs artwork so that we can just kind of pop them in there. We added Ren in the refinery in just one day. So if I just do the pixel art for these 3 NPCs, we can add 3 NPCs into the game in just one afternoon. So I'm gonna work on those. And then, we've got little AI for them to go in boxes and get a specialized dialogue box. So it shouldn't be too bad to add a couple more NPCs. And then we get to design some new sprites and design some pretty level design for the overworld. And then we're basically done. We've got a bunch of testing to do. So like, I'm hoping in 2 weeks time, the timeline is hopefully in 2 weeks time, I get out to the Discord a demo release for playtesting, so I can track down any for sure game breaking bugs, and then once I'm fairly certain we don't have any game breaking bugs, we can ship to Yo, Convictus. Yo, you're a legend, dude. Let's see. No, we got it. We got it, man. Thank you. Give your dad a thank you as well, dude. Thank you. This is epic, man. We just got a GitHub achievement, man. That's epic. Look at that, man. That's epic, man. Thank you, dude. That's epic. I've been wanting that for a while now. Cool, man. Epic. Yeah, dude. We got the... achievements on GitHub is where it's at. That's the real gamification of life right there. Epic, dude. You gotta let us know when your affiliate comes through, Cavictus. I'm sure you're there. Did it update you about it? Okay. I think we're gonna get commit right there. So, yep. We added, let's walk through the get diff real quick. Yep, we added a missed note timer, a song finish timer. So after today, we're able to automatically close the lute state. We only render the bass note sounds if the tone's equipped. If we, if we finish the song, then the song automatically triggers off. Then we're rendering the wrong notes. And then we're able to do something like render red if we are missing 5 or more notes, or render green if we finish the song and we haven't missed 5 notes. And that'll allow us to trigger the actual cinematic for beating the demo. So we're in good shape. I'm gonna call this 4 more times. Okay. Ah, shoot. You'll get it. It'll be soon. Okay, so get add and commit. We're gonna do a lute state renders missed notes and fail/success state upon song completion, and lute state closes if song is finished. Great. We will get push, call it a night. Thanks for watching. We'll render out the credits here, and then oh, here we go. All right, thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. We will add some more features on the road to finishing the demo, and I'll be streaming the whole process of submitting the demo to Steam. I'll be streaming the process of making all the builds for the demo, as well as publishing it to Steam, so I can kind of just share the process with people so that we can see, because I've never uploaded a game for Steam's approval. So we'll be doing that up on stream, and hopefully people find some use in that. Hopefully people think it's cool. We will raid out here. Let's see. We'll raid out to Quellis Dev, another indie game developer, and we'll call it a night. Thanks for watching, y'all. Thanks for the star achievement, Cavictus. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging, Puny, Fartknocker. Peace out, y'all. Have a good night.